People who grew up in the 1980s carry a psychology that feels impossible to fully explain to anyone raised after the rise of the internet. It's a generation shaped by independence, scarcity, curiosity, and a kind of daily adventure that would terrify modern parents. And yet, those experiences built a mindset that still shows up today in how they cope, love, argue, trust, and navigate the chaos of adulthood. The 80s generation grew up in a world where supervision was optional. You rode your bike across entire neighborhoods, disappeared for hours, and nobody panicked. If you got lost, you figured it out. If you fell, you got up. You didn't have a phone. You didn't have Google. You relied on instinct, friends, and your own growing sense of direction. Psychologically, this created something rare today, a natural ability to operate without constant reassurance. People from the 80s still carry this quiet belief that things will work out, even in moments they're completely unprepared for. To understand them deeply, you have to look at their parents. Many of them were raised by mothers and fathers who lived through economic uncertainty, strict households, and workplaces that expected toughness over expression. Emotion wasn't a topic. Feelings weren't discussed. You learned by watching. You adapted by necessity. Their parents believed in discipline, privacy, and resilience, and passed those values on without saying a word. This is why people from the 80s matured early. Not because they wanted to, but because life demanded it. You helped around the house. You fixed what broke. You entertained yourself without waiting for someone to guide you. If something didn't work, you improvised. If something scared you, you hid it. Responsibility wasn't a choice, it was your introduction to adulthood. And there's something people forget. The world back then was slower, but heavier. Fewer distractions, but more real moments. You watched your parents grind through exhaustion. You saw entire families stretch money just to get through the month. You saw adults handle stress without complaining or posting about it. That kind of environment shapes a child. It teaches you that struggle is normal and that surviving hard moments is part of who you become. People raised in the 1980s learned emotional endurance in silence. They grew from trial, error, boredom, danger, and curiosity. And that's why, even now, they often feel older than their age not physically, but mentally. Their maturity didn't come from lectures. It came from reality. They are a bridge generation. One foot in the analog world where everything felt real, personal, and physical. And one foot in the digital world where everything is fast, loud, and mentally demanding. They remember what it felt like to be unreachable, bored, patient. And they see a world now that never stops spinning. Now look at the younger generation, the ones born after the year 2000. They grew up with screens in their hands, dopamine in their pockets, and information attacking their brain every second. Notifications, videos, messages, updates. Their attention has been pulled in 1,000 directions since childhood. And you can see the effect everywhere. They get overwhelmed quickly. Their focus fades faster. Their confidence rises and collapses depending on likes, comments, and comparison. Social media offers connection, but it also delivers pressure. They compare themselves constantly. They feel behind even when they're doing fine. Their mind rarely rests because the world they live in never slows down. Even when they relax, they scroll. And scrolling isn't rest, it's stimulation disguised as comfort. This generation is brilliant, creative, expressive, open-minded, but also exhausted, overstimulated, and mentally overloaded in ways older generations never experienced. They are growing up in a world too fast for the natural pace of the human brain. So let me ask you this. Which generation do you think carries the heavier psychological weight and why? And tell me, are you from before the year 1990 or after it? I want to know where you fit in. If this made you think differently, subscribe. At SciVista, we go deeper every day. Your like helps more people find messages like this. SciVista isn't just a channel. It's a perspective.